You. Test, test. Better like me. Test, test. Test. Test, test. Test. Mute. I feel like I have some weird noise. Oh. That's better. Like I used to before. Alright, what we want to do is we want to add an audio source. Let's see. Huh. Guess I can't listen to music.
Hi there, Busy. Are you ready for today's letter of the day? You bet I am, Pup. Today's letter is P, and we're going to learn all about penguins. Hi there, Busy. Are you ready for today's letter of the day? You bet I am, Pup. Today's letter is P, and we're going to learn all about penguins.
I guess what you do is need to make some graphics, so let me do that real quick. So you guys can see what I am doing. I should actually just share the screen display capture. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Okay. All right, so what I'm doing now is I need to put the letter P. So somewhere around here.
P. And we're going to learn. Bet I am, Pop. Today's letter is P. And
so he says today's letter is P here. As of right now, this is a signal track, and it's not really doing anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here, and we're going to go to the script that I wrote to change materials. So as of right now, we don't actually have an initial P, so we're going to add that there. And then I just made one. What's above? What's above? Letter E. We'll just drag this in here. And then we'll take that and we'll put it into our blackboard, the one we just made. So signal 17. So we might actually have to create that signal. Let's see if there's a material. There is not a material 17 yet, so we'll just go down here, create one, material 17. Save. Come in here, manage your material, integer, and we want it to look at 17. So now, if we hit play, in theory, that it'll pop up the letter P here.
hi there, Busy. Are you ready for today's letter of the day? You bet I am, Pop. Today's letter is P. And we're going to learn all about.
Yeah, but we want it to be a little more exciting than that. So something that I have done is in the previous signals. So what I do is I want to add this, and then also on this blackboard I have put another script on here that allows me to play sound effects automatically. So basically I use the feel player, and I wrote a script that I wrote a script that that basically plays these feels, and then and then this way I don't have to always tell it to play a random sound. So my specific feel is a bunch of random sound effects that that will automatically randomize on their own. So every time it plays. So this time, if you hear, when the P pops up, you'll hear a pop.
Hi there, Busy. Are you ready for today's letter of the day? You bet I am, Pop. Today's letter is P. And we're going to learn.
There's a pop. Okay. There's a and then what we want to do is we want to add a little bit of effect here, right? So this is an empty track we're not using. Let's just get rid of this one. So what we want to do is add effects. So if we go into our virtual effects, we're not going to see anything. Actually, I could have sworn I put these effects in here. That's okay. So if you go down here to the virtual effects, I use these assets put out by JMO Assets, and in particular, there's a prefab that I like. Come here, and then I just pick, you know, what color I want this to be. Let's just say we're going to make it green, like the, let's do multicolor. Okay, so we're going to take multicolor, and we're going to come up here, and we're going to go ahead and put it into the virtual effects, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to trigger this when this signal goes off. There's two ways we can do that. One, we can go down here, we can create an activation track, and it only, once this activation track is hit on this first blackboard signal, it will go ahead and trigger this effect. Let's just take a look at it real quick, and then I'll show you the other way to do it.
I am, Pop. Today's letter is P, and we're going to learn.
Now, the effect is in the wrong place, so let's go ahead and fix that. I'm want to put it close to the wall as possible because I kind of want it to pop up from the middle of the board. It's kind of in the middle, right? We can just play it to see. Boom, that looks good. All right. So what we can do is we can turn this off because it's going to be activated when this hits, so it doesn't matter. And let's try it now.
Day? You bet I am, Pop. Today's letter is P, and we're going to...
And there we go. Now, another thing that I noticed is that if you look at this camera, when it's playing, you're going to see
we're going to learn all about penguins.
But we want them to look at the camera. So what we want to do is we want to see what they're supposed to be looking at. So they're looking at a 2-shot, but the problem is the 2-shot camera is not here anymore. So we need to do one of two things. We need to switch it to the camera itself, or we can switch it to look at audience. So if we come here and we go to our look at audience,
we're going to learn all about
you'll see they're
penguins.
looking a little bit better at the camera now. So, but the problem is it doesn't save this, so it's going to disappear. See, so what we'll need to do is shut it off, and then here, right here, we're going to have to replace this to look at audience, and then we're going to need to do the same thing for busy. We're going to do this one and say look at audience. So now in this first part, they should be looking at the right place. So we're looking at the 2-shot.
Hi there, Busy. Are you ready for today's letter of the day? You bet I am, Pop. Today's letter is P, and we're going to learn all about penguins. Penguins? I love penguins.
Okay. Now, as of right now, we're just using the demo photos. That's why you see the watermarks. But we'll be, once we make the final decision on the photos, which we're going to do today, we'll go ahead and pull off the ones that download the right ones. Okay. So as of for cameras, we always want a little bit of movement in the beginning, but the camera should be set where it needs to be by the time that they start talking. So for example, if the camera is going to start with a 2-shot or some kind of establishing shot, then it needs to be where that's going to be for the video by the time that it hits. So we need to move this transition over so that it transitions when it's supposed to. It's a little slow. It's pretty slow. Oh, that's why. So there's not actually any music right here. So we want to move this transition here. But what I like to do is I like to match it up to the music. So when the video starts, somewhere in here. And there they go. And there's the audience. I'm not going to go into cameras and how to change the easing and stuff like that right now. Basically, the way it works is automatic, and it's okay, but you can also change the way it transitions. All right, so instead of hitting play every time, you can go ahead and listen to it and know exactly what's supposed to be here. So,
hi there, Busy.
So this should be a wave. This is a high.
Okay. Are you ready for today's letter of the day?
So, first of all, what I like to do is clean all this stuff up. So I'm going to create a track group, and I'm going to call it pup. I'm going to move all the pup stuff into the track group. This keeps me from making mistakes later. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing for busy. I'm going to make group. Oops, it says subgroup because it's selected here. So let me just move to somewhere else. All right, let's create a track group. And we're going to call this one busy. I'm going to move this up below pup. And then we're going to put busy here. It's just my preference to have the character on the left be first and the character on the right, because it's how I read left to right. But you can do it any way you want. It doesn't affect it. The other thing I like to throw in here is stuff that I don't necessarily need right now. So right now, we don't need this because the sound effects are created by the pops. I mean, by the signals up here on the blackboard. And then the effects is here. And then these are three different sound sources. It looks like we have an extra one here. Let's see, what is that? A laugh?
That pop.
Yeah, that's a laugh. So we don't need this extra sound source right now. This is just kind of making it cluttered. All right, so now we cleaned up our scene a little bit. Now, for some reason, this is going back and
We're
forth
going to
between
learn
cameras. Let's find out why.
Well, actually, penguins are birds, and they're not fluffy.
What we can do is decide which one is kind of better. Because they're very close shots to each other. There might not actually be a need to cut back and forth unless we have somebody talking without actually talking about something else.
Hi there, Busy. Are you ready for today's letter of the day?
Yeah, let's see.
You bet I am, Pop. Today's letter is P, and we're going to learn all about penguins.
All right, so our second signal should be where penguins
All
is.
about penguins. Penguins.
So it's basically there.
Penguins? I love penguins. They're so fluffy. They're so fluffy.
Oops, crap, hit my mic. Okay.
Penguin. They're so fluffy.
So I'm gonna put a signal here, but right now I don't know what it is. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put a signal emitter to remind me that I want something there.
Well, actually, penguins are birds. Penguins are birds.
So penguins are birds, so that means I want to put something here because he's emphasizing something. Sometimes the signal might not go exactly on the line.
Birds, and they're not fluffy, but they do have feathers to keep them warm in the cold water. But they do have feathers to...
I might put a video or something here.
Feathers to keep them warm in the cold water. Oh, I didn't know that. What else can you tell me about penguins? Well, penguins live in cold... Penguins...
Let's go ahead and move this one over. I think this is the cold one.
Penguins live in cold places like Antarctica.
We're going to put a picture from the map on here.
Antarctica and the Arctic. They have special oils on their feathers. They have special oil.
This one over just a bit.
Oils on their feathers that make them waterproof. So they can swim in the water. Swim in the water and catch fish to eat. Catch fish.
There.
Fish to eat. They have short, stubby wings. They have short, stubby wings that they use to swim, and they have webbed feet. They have webbed feet to help them move quickly in the water. Wow! That's amazing! Do you know what else starts with P? What, Busy? What else starts with P? With P? P? What, Busy? What else starts with P? Pup! Pup!
There should be one here.
Pup! Pup starts with P. P-U-P. P-U-P. Pup! That's right.
If you're wondering what I'm using to move back and forth, I'm pressing the center wheel on the mouse and dragging.
Busy. P is for penguin. P is for penguin and pup. P. Pup. P. P is the letter of the day.
Okay, so what we want to do is we want to extend this out a little bit because we're going to have applause and music at the end. So that also means that we need to extend out the eyes and the emotions. Oops. The emotions for the characters. Otherwise, they'll just start looking randomly at stuff and their facial expression will go away and look like they're not having any fun. So at the end of the video, I used to put music and all that kind of stuff at the end of the video, but the problem with that is that if somebody's watching ABC all the way through, then they're going to be getting, you know, it's going to get kind of annoying to hear the ending credits music and then the intro credit music over and over again. So I've kind of cut down on that. So what I do is I just put these kids doing their hooray as they wave.
And pup. P is the letter of the day.
And oops. And I just want to make sure that I don't put it on top just in case I want to cut it later. Okay. And then P is the letter of the day. You want to have them waving, so he should be waving here. Nope, he says what? He says love me. So maybe we want to put another signal here. Waving. He's on the left side, so we're going to have him left, so his hand is actually in the screen. And the same thing with Busy. Busy's over here, so his last thing is what? We're going to have him wave just a little bit off, so his wave's not exactly the same. I'll come here. That's not what I meant. Come here, and well, he's on the right side, so we'll have him waving right, so his hand is in the middle. Okay. So all of these little signals without the that are not white is because they're not connected to anything, they're not doing anything, but we're going to fix that. So the first thing I want to do before I get into any of the photos and stuff like that is I want to fix the characters so that they're ready to so that they're done. Then I can close them down and then work on the effects and all that kind of stuff. Actually, I thought I had the effects in the template, but basically McQueen, what you can do is you can go ahead and take the effects and then just slide them in there. So if you come here and you go to your prefabs and your explosions, your variants, and then what you could do is just take all the effects you might use in the future, and then you can slide them right into the blackboard. And then as long as you, as long as they're all at 0, 0, 0, they should be almost in the right place. So you want to hit play. See, we just need to raise them all up a little bit. Boom, they're there already. And then you can just turn them all off and then just use the activation track when you want to use them, and they're already in the right spot. I thought I put that in the template, but I guess I forgot. Okay, so let's see if we'll start with Pup's animations and make sure all of his animations are correct, and then we'll move down to his emotions and his eyes. I'll worry about the cameras in a little bit. Honestly, you could probably stay here and not change for the whole entire thing. Alright, I'm gonna save, always save. We're gonna turn off the in-track audio so we don't get doubled audio.
Hi there, Busy. Are you ready for today's letter of the day? You bet I am, Pup. Today's letter is P, and we're going to learn all about penguins. Penguins? I love penguins. They're so
Oops.
fluffy.
So we can see already right here, they're looking at the wrong
Penguin.
location.
They're so fluffy.
Yep, there it is, looking at the two shot. So let's go ahead and fix that to look at the audience. Let's look at the audience. All right, we'll go ahead and start from there because the animations are fine up to there.
To learn all about penguins. Penguins? I love penguins. They're so fluffy. Well, penguins are birds, and they're not fluffy, but
There they are again. They're looking off at the wrong area. So let me make sure I didn't mess up the audio. Okay. It's two shot again. And the reason I keep hitting play is because you can't save this in play. It'll erase everything. So you got to stop it and come back here. Let's see if they are looking at the... Oh, two shot. Two shot. Two shot. Two shot. Two shot. And two shot. No, the two shot would have been fine if we were using that camera, but since we're not using that camera, they're looking the wrong direction. So the audience one is actually kind of set up as like kind of a general looking spot that kind of works with most of the cameras at the same time. That's right. I think this one was actually made with an old template, not the newest template, because I can actually see that the characters are not in the right spot. They're a little bit off. Just like in movies and TV, everything should be nice 45 degrees. And they're about even. Okay, so they look a little bit better on the camera now. And they should not be looking at the wrong space. So I can focus on looking at the animations. Let's close busy so I don't get confused. Let's try it again.
Hi there, Busy. Are you ready for today's letter of the day? You bet I am, Pup. Today's letter is P, and we're going to learn all about penguins. Penguins? I love penguins. They're so fluffy. Well, actually, penguins are birds, and they're not fluffy, but they do have feathers to keep them warm in the cold water. Oh, I didn't know that. What else can you tell me about penguins? Well, penguins live in cold places like Antarctica and the Arctic. They have special oils on their feathers that make them waterproof, so they can swim in the water and catch fish to eat. They have short, stubby wings that they use to swim, and they have webbed feet to help them move quickly in the water. Wow, that's amazing! Do you know what else starts with P? What, Busy? What else starts with P? Pup! Pup starts with P. P-U-P. Popped. That's right, Busy. P is for penguin and pup. P is the letter of the day.
Actually, animations and the eyes look pretty good on this one. So do the emotions. So I'm not going to mess with that. Only thing I'm going to mess with is the adding these photos. So the reason I add these other ones is because he's talking about something specific that we need to be focusing on. Now, if you're making a video game, of course, you can just reverse. This one's a little more complicated than a regular video game cutscene. But anyway, it's the same thing. So what I'm using for the audio and the eyes and all that is a asset called Salsa, and basically once you rig the character, you can just drag everything into the timeline. And I try to do everything in the timeline. I don't script anything except for the special effects, triggers, and all that, which I trigger in the timeline to make things less complicated and faster. So in this case, it's a very simple cartoon. They don't ever leave the classroom. They just talk about penguins. So let's go ahead and listen to what they're talking about and find the photos that that my co-editor found already to fill in these blanks. Now the only thing I might change is this font, just because I did some research, and this, since it's for kids, relate a little bit better, or are easily are able to make out this specific font better, and that's why it looks kind of plain, but it's what they see in school. So let's see what we're looking for.
P,
So
and we're going
P.
to learn all about penguins.
So this is penguins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this one right here, but I'm going to change the order of these to in order, so it's easier to understand for me, because these are kind of all over the place. So let's see what picture she had for penguins. Okay, penguins. So let's see if we can find that one in our Shutterfly, wherever the heck it is. There it is. Oops, that gets started. Honestly, don't even remember what my login is. All right. P. All right, so let's find that photo. It's here. So we're gonna download this. Now we'll go over to Photoshop, where I have a template put up here, and we're gonna go ahead and put that picture we just downloaded. Sometimes these downloads are not actually in the right format yet, so you have to open them in Illustrator and then put them in here. But in this case, we're all good. So even though there's some penguins in the back, I think I'm going to center him so it's kind of focused on him. Okay. So File, Export. And we're going to do P1 because it's the first one. Okay, we'll go back here. So you see she has the one that she already added. And then we're going to go here to our What's Up Pup. We're going to go to P, and we're going to drag this one in. All right, now what's going to happen is when I delete the one that she has in here, it's going to disappear off the list, but that's why I'm doing it in order. So I'm going to delete her penguin 7. And then I'm going to go back into the blackboard, and you'll see that there's a missing one, and that's where I'm going to put the new penguin. As I figure out where it is, there it is. Boom. This way I don't have to change anything. It's here, except for the ones that I add to it. So yeah, our first penguin done. Let's see.
Penguins. Penguins? I love penguins. They're so fluffy.
Now, this one says Fluffy. Now, she didn't do one for Fluffy, and that's okay. But I found some cute pictures with fluffy baby penguins somewhere. I thought I had baby Fluffy. There we go. There's little fluffy penguins. Let's see, what should we use? Let's use this one. By the way, Shutterstock is this really cool website that basically has a ton of resources, videos, sounds, pictures, and all that that we use for all of our projects. So we have all the copyright and all that stuff is all good so that we can actually use it to legally. All right, so let's go ahead here. So there, he looks nice and fluffy. File, export as. Now, even though this isn't the second picture in the thing, I'm going to call it 2 because that way I know which order it goes in. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next one.
Well, actually, penguins are birds, and
All right, so penguins are birds. So what would be a good image to show that penguins are birds? Putting this into my folder so I don't forget. All right. Well, that is a video. I don't know if they have an example. I'm just putting it in here to see if there's a... Oh, maybe something like this would be cool because it kind of shows penguins with other birds. Yeah.
We got a stove.
What?
We have a stove.
Yay. We have a stove. We can cook now. Now the world knows about it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use this one because it shows like here. And then what I'll do is I'm going to edit this in a way so that it makes more sense to the kids. So we have our little furry dude here, right? So we'll go to here to Photoshop. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to add... First, we're going to take this one. And we're going to cut him out. So we're going to go here and we're going to say open with Photoshop. And then we're going to use this cool little feature called subject. And it usually does a pretty good job. It's a lot of white here. Oh, that actually looks pretty great. So we're just going to go ahead and copy paste. And now we have a cutout of him. So we're going to go ahead and drag him back into our little green screen. There he is. Oops, he's huge. Control T so that we can zoom him down. Let's try to get him as close to the original one as possible. Just for right now. And then let's go ahead and turn off the original. What I want to do is I want to take that one I just downloaded. Now you see how this is not a Windows, it's not a file designed for Photoshop. It's actually designed for Illustrator. So I'm going to go ahead and open an Illustrator and pull the image out of it. All right, so here we go. So this image is actually, because it's a vector, it's really tiny. So if I was just to use this image by itself and just save it or export it as, it would actually be pretty small. So there's two things that I do. One is I always remove the background because I might want to change the colors. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to file, export selection, and I want to make it bigger. So I'm going to make it 4 times the size. I'm going to give it, you know, the name P so we just know what it is. And then we're going to go ahead and export. So it's already exported it and it's put it into a folder called 4X. So if you see here's 4X. All right, we got all our other pictures from all other shows that we've done, and here is our birds. So let's bring this in here. So remember we made them clear. So what we're going to do, just to show the kids that he's part of the bird kingdom, is we're going to shrink him down here. So I'm going to put this behind. Shrink him down. We'll just put him in here. And what I might do is remove, I need to rasterize this so I can take it out. I just might remove this little penguin here. There you go. And boom, He's part of the birds. He's part of the bird kingdom. Just make this straight. So what we'll do with this one is we'll actually bounce from the previous one to this one, so they'll see the image already and they'll actually recognize that he's here. So now he's a bird. And you're probably saying, you know what, we can't see those damn birds. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to add another layer above it, and then we're going to make this into a clipping mask, and then we're going to turn those birds white. Just paint our paint bucket, and boom, white birds. And there's our little guy. What I might do so that he stands out a little bit more, maybe put a highlight on him. So let's go ahead and let's put a outer glow maybe. Let's make it a little bit bigger. So he stands out. All right, well, we're going to export this. And since this is going to be the third slide, we're going to go ahead and call this P3. It's just easier for me to keep track of it so I know what order they go in. Okay. So.
And they're not fluffy, but...
Oh, what's that font? Sorry about that. That font is... that font is called YouTube Sans. It's actually YouTube's font. Okay. All right. So let's do this.
But they do have feathers to keep...
All right. Feathers. Let's see.
Feathers to keep them warm in the cold water. Oh,
So I don't know if we're actually going to find a picture of penguin feathers, but let's see. We can just show them swimming in the water. Oh, goodness. Oh, I guess we can. Let's see here. So we do have penguin, their feathers. Okay, let's go ahead and put this in our P. And then let's go back to keep them in the cold water. But the problem with this picture though is this picture is not going to fit in the square. So what we want to do is we want to find something that might fit a little bit better. Let's see. Maybe something like this, kind of cute. But it says cold water, maybe something with ice. Let's see. Looking for something that might have ice. I really like this one, but the problem is that the shape of it. Plus, it has a little thing on his wing. One of these might work. This one or this one. Oh, maybe this one. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, so let's go ahead and save this one to P so I don't lose it. Let's go ahead and download it. And let's go ahead and download that other one that this one. Alright, so we can go ahead and turn these off. We're not using these anymore. Here, downloads, feathers. I thought I turned this one off. Okay. Control T. make it bigger so that they can actually see the photo. File, export as. All right. Good night. Okay, there's the feathers. And here's the swimming. Try to put them in the middle as much as possible. Okay, what's next?
Well, penguins live. Tell me about penguins. Well, penguins live in cold places like Antarctica and the Arctic. They have special.
Okay. So we can use the other penguin again. Oops, I keep hitting this microphone. Let's go ahead and see if we can't find an image of Antarctica. It's kind of a hard one to find a picture of that makes sense to kids because they're not going to recognize it. What we might do is take something like this and then have an arrow pointing to Antarctica. Huh, something like this might work. Let's give it a try. Let's use this one. Photoshop. Once again, this one is going to be, I have to open Illustrator so that you can export it properly. Oh, keep kicking this mic. All right, so we don't know what condition or what size this is. I mean, it's really hard to tell when it comes to Illustrator for me, and I'm not an Illustrator guy. All I know how to do is to get it out properly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tell it at least 2 times as big. Export. And then we're gonna we don't need to save this. Now we should be able to open it in Photoshop. It's gonna be in a folder here. Export. Alt tab. Try to keep as much of it in here as I can. And then to make it easier for the kids so that they can, they know exactly what we're trying to tell them, we're going to go ahead and put some arrows on here. So we have an arrow saved here. It's a little hard to see on this map, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a white stroke to it. Get a little bit bigger. Maybe we should make a yellow stroke. Oh, that doesn't really help, does it? Black stroke. Yeah, that's better. All right, we're gonna take our little arrow and we're going to point toward the little. What I might do, stretch it out a little bit so that, there we go. Oh, I don't know. Make it work somehow. Best I can do. I'm not really sure exactly how to express that one in just a quick image. Let's export this. So this is going to be 6. So what are we at here? So we have
All about penguins. Penguins? I love penguins. They're so fluffy.
so fluffy. So what we're going to do is we're going to start putting these in order. So we have P1, right? And then we're going to have P2. What's up, P? So we already have one. We're gonna go ahead and here through P6. All right. Then we go here and we're just gonna put them all in order. So we already have P1 in there. So now what we need to do is we need to go to, we gotta put P2, P3, P4, P5, and P6. And so you see 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this case, you have 3. And this needs to be 4. And this is 5. This is maybe not 6. This is
Birds, and they're not fluffy, but they do have feathers to keep.
this. Hold on, I forget. 5. Feathers should be 4. So this should be 4. What's he talking about here?
Actually, penguins are birds, and
Birds. So birds is 3. Oh, that's right. I'm so confused. I'm sorry. I'm confusing everybody. Okay. So birds have feathers. That's 3. That's actually 5. So what I want to do is I want to come here so that I can see everything. I'm going to open a second inspector. So this one should be
penguins are birds.
so birds. So birds should be P3. P3 is 5. Okay.
Not fluffy, but they do have feathers to.
All right. Feathers is P4. P4 is 6. So this one should be material 6. So,
Today's letter is P, and
all right. So there's P. P17. This should be 17. It is.
we're going to learn all about penguins.
Penguins. All right. So penguins is 3. So that'd be P1. And P1 is our penguin.
Penguins? I love penguins. They're so fluffy.
All right. You got your material, or they're fluffy. So we need a little fluffy picture. So that's P2. So that's 4. That's 4. Okay.
Well, actually, penguins are birds.
Okay. Penguins are birds. So that should be 3. That should be 5. And that's 5. Okay.
And they're not fluffy, but they do have feathers to keep.
Feathers. Okay. So feathers is 4, and 4 is 6, and that's 6. Okay.
Them warm in the cold water. Oh, I didn't know that. Warm in the cold.
All right, we're gonna put the this one is going to be 9. All right, so material 9 will be the cold water. So that's P5. Oh, wait a second. It's P7, my bad. So this one should be material 7. And then 6.
Feathers to keep them warm in the cold water. Oh, I didn't know that. What else can you tell me about penguins? Well, penguins live in cold places like Antarctica and
Okay, so this could be penguin, so this one could be back to 3. Whoops. Whoops.
the Arctic. They have special cold places like Antarctica.
Okay, and this is where Antarctica comes in, so this is our P6. So this would be material 12. I mean, material 8. So, okay.
And the Arctic. They have special oils on their feathers that
All right, so this one we can go ahead and use the feather one again for, so P4. So this will be material 4.
in the Arctic. They have special oils on their feathers that make them waterproof, so they can swim in the water.
P5. P7.
And catch fish to eat. They have
Oops, catch fish. See if we can get one penguin doing this. Okay, downloads, fish, Photoshop. Export as. Okay. Once again, back here. Let's go to our P and let's go ahead and pull our 7 over. And then this one will go to element 9.
catch fish to eat. They have short, stubby, so they can swim in the water and catch
So this one will be 9. Okay.
fish to eat. They have short, stubby wings.
Short, stubby legs. Okay.
swim in the water and catch fish to eat. They have short, stubby wings that
Okay, okay. Something is wrong with the audio here.
water and catch fish to eat. They have short, Arctica and the Arctic. They have special oils on their feathers that make them waterproof, so they can swim in the water and catch fish to eat. They have short, stubby wings that they use to swim, and they have webbed feet to help them move quickly in the water. Wow, that's amazing! Do you know what else starts with P?
Okay, so this one will be back to P. So P is on 17. Which is all the way down here.
Starts with P? Starts with P? What, Busy?
Okay.
What else starts with P? Pop!
Now the other thing we need to put here is we need to put that effect again, right? So we already have it here, so we just need to put another activation track. And just put it right where the P is. So this way when it comes back, it has a little bit of pop. So
What else starts with P? What, Busy? What else starts with P? Pop! Pumps!
okay, so now we need the pop. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this off. Then we're going to make 3 of these. All right. And then the other 2 are going to be broken down to just the, so P, U, and P pop, right? So we'll do this one first. Oh, no. Hold on a second. Need to line all these up. So first one is P. Let's lock this one so we don't accidentally move it. Just line up with the P, P, and then U, and then P. All right. So let's go ahead and print these out. Pup, file, export. Actually, you know what? Should we put Pup's face on here? I think I might already have it. Let's go here. Yep, I got a pup. Just so the kids know what we're talking about. And then we'll just move the pup down. Actually, we'll put it here. And then we'll move these up. Okay. So the first one will be pup, file, export as. And then this one will just be called pup. Save. And then we'll do the P. File, export as. P. And the next one will be PU. File, export as. Export P. PU. Oops. PU. Save. All right. Let's go back here. Let's go back here. Let's go back here. So now we have our pup. So let's put all this in here. So once again, let's keep it in order. So last one we answered was 8. So we're going to say pup, and then P, and P. We don't have to put pup again because we already have it. So
P. Pup. Pup.
So pup, right, is going to be right here in element 11. So let's go ahead and put material 11.
P. Pup. Pup start.
And then let's line this up a little bit better with the
Pup.
Okay.
Pup. Pup starts with P. P. P.
Okay. Now for this one, we want is the P, so this will be 12.
P. U.
Okay, PU, which is 13.
U. P.
And then this is going to be, I keep hitting this mic. This is going to be, can't remember what I was thinking now. This is going to be 11. Again. Okay.
P. Pup.
Don't actually need one here because it already has pup.
Pup. That's right, Busy. P is for penguin.
All right, so P again. So P is number 17. So we're going to go here. We're going to go to 17. We're also going to activate the thing. We do this every time a letter pops up just to get the kids excited.
For penguin.
All right, now we want penguin again, right? So the first one would be 3. So we're going to go here. We're going to select 3.
And pup.
And then pup again. Pup is 11. Okay.
And pup. P.
And P again, which is the letter 3. Or which is 3, I mean. Sorry, my fingers don't work the way they used to. And then we can just go ahead and put another activation clip. Now we might take one of the 2 of these activation clips if they are too much, but let's go ahead and see how it looks, right? So let's file, save. Always save, don't forget to save. I should have saved more. And let's go ahead and turn off the demo audio and let's see how it looks.
Hi there, Busy. Are you ready for today's letter of the day? You bet I am, Pup. Today's letter is P, and we're going to learn all about penguins.
So apparently I messed something up because it's starting off with the wrong thing. Let's go to our materials. Oh, that's why. Okay, so we need to change this to this. So let's go ahead and find our, boom. All right, I don't know how that happened.
Hi there, Busy. Are you ready for today's letter of the day? You bet I am, Pup. Today's letter is P, and we're going to learn all about penguins. Penguins? I love penguins. They're so fluffy. Well, actually, penguins are birds, and they're not fluffy, but they do have feathers to keep them warm in the cold water. Oh, I didn't know that. What else can you tell me about penguins? Well, penguins live in cold places like Antarctica and the Arctic. They have special oils on their feathers that make them waterproof, so they can...
See, I made a mistake there.
They can swim in the water. Arctic. They have special...
So this one should have been feathers, and apparently I have it set to the wrong one. I have set this to mirror 4, and it should be set to P4, which is 6. So this one is set to the wrong one. That's why you always want to rewatch and rewatch and rewatch. Also, too, I just noticed, just for the purpose, let's go ahead and add another audio track. And this is just for the purpose of being able to turn it off later. Okay, so let's turn off both of these. Save. And hit play.
Hi there, Busy. Are you ready for today's letter of the day? You bet I am, Pup. Today's letter is P, and we're going to learn all about penguins. Penguins? I love penguins. They're so fluffy. Well, actually, penguins are birds, and they're not fluffy, but they do have feathers to keep them warm in the cold water. Oh, I didn't know that. What else can you tell me about penguins? Well, penguins live in cold places like Antarctica and the Arctic. They have special oils on their feathers that make them waterproof, so they can swim in the water and catch fish to eat. They have short, stubby wings that they use to swim, and they have webbed feet to help them move quickly in the water. Wow, they move quickly in the water.
So this should be webbed feet.
And they have webbed feet.
Webbed feet. Webbed feet. That's 8. That's 10. So this one is wrong. Also, this is...
They have short, stubby wings that...
wings. Let's replace this with P3. Material 3. See, even I wasn't listening right.
Arctic. They have special oils on their feathers that make them waterproof, so they can swim in the water and catch fish to eat. They have short, stubby wings that they use to swim, and they have webbed feet to help them move quickly in the water. Wow, that's amazing! Do you know what else starts with P? What, Busy? What else starts with P? Pup! Pup starts with P. P-U-P. Pup! That's right, Busy. P is for penguin and pup. P is the letter of the day.
Oh, let's see, I made a mistake again. What the heck? P should be element 3. It is. Wait a second. Oh no, it should be 17. P is the letter of the day. What did I know? Oh, camera. The camera's a little bit off. So what I want to do is just kind of move this camera over just a tiny bit because Busy doesn't seem to be getting as much. There we go. Let's try it one more time.
Hi there, Busy. Are you ready for today's letter of the day? You bet I am, Pup. Today's letter is P, and we're going to learn all about penguins. Penguins? I love penguins. They're so fluffy. Well, actually, penguins are birds, and they're not fluffy, but they do have feathers to keep them warm in the cold water. Oh, I didn't know that. What else can you tell me about penguins? Well, penguins live in cold places like Antarctica and the Arctic. They have special oils on their feathers that make them waterproof, so they can swim in the water and catch fish to eat. They have short, stubby wings that they use to swim, and they have webbed feet to help them move quickly in the water. Wow, that's amazing! Do you know what else starts with P? What, Busy? What else starts with P?
You might have noticed that the effects didn't trigger, right? They didn't trigger when they were supposed to. And the reason for that is if you scroll all the way to the bottom, this specific one is set to destroy after the first one, so it never comes back. So let's go ahead and start again. But we're going to start it from here because so far it's right on. So we'll just
that's amazing! Do you know what else starts with P? What, Busy? What else starts with P? Pup! Pup starts with P. P-U-P. Pup! That's right, Busy. P is for penguin and pup. P is the letter of the day.
There we go. That looks pretty good. The only thing is Busy, you see he has two animations really close to each other at the bottom here. So because of that, yeah, there's kind of like an overlap. So let's...
P is the letter penguin, and P is for...
So what is this one that he's doing? I guess he doesn't really need to do that. All right. I'm just going to watch it one more time to make sure it's okay. Let's see here.
Hi there, Busy. Are you ready for today's letter of the day? You bet I am, Pup. Today's letter is P, and we're going to learn all about penguins. Penguins? I love penguins. They're so fluffy. Well, actually, penguins are birds, and they're not fluffy, but they do have feathers to keep them warm in the cold water. Oh, I didn't know that. What else can you tell me about penguins? Well, penguins live in cold places like Antarctica and the Arctic. They have special oils on their feathers that make them waterproof, so they can swim in the water and catch fish to eat. They have short, stubby wings that they use to swim, and they have webbed feet to help them move quickly in the water. Wow, that's amazing! Do you know what else starts with P? What, Busy? What else starts with P? Pup! Pup starts with P. P-U-P. Pup! That's right, Busy. P is for penguin and pup. P is the letter of the day.
Okay, actually it looks good except for their expressions seem to end before the end of the video. It's just like a frame off there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we want to export this. So we're going to save it. Now, if you go to window, it's kind of hard to find sometimes, but when you go here, record your window, this will allow you to select the options you need to record your project. So the first thing I want to do is do time interval, right? And that's because you notice that we don't start directly at 0. I'm gonna move this up here. I'm gonna go ahead and close this window. We don't need it anymore. All right. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we start recording when we want it to start recording, and we end when we stop. That we don't have to put it into Premiere and figure things out. So the music starts somewhere around here. Okay, right about there. So we're going to start at 1 second. So you come here and you say 1 second. Then you need to find where it ends, and they'll usually be like right here. Actually, they'll usually be a thing that tells you, but because we have a couple extra tracks over here from our template, let's delete this so you can see what I'm talking about. So you'll see that there's a little thing that tells you where it ends, this little blue thing. So you can click on this so you know exactly where everything ends, and then you just want to go right to the end right there, and then we're looking at 75.28. So we'll do 75.3 seconds, right? So 75.3 seconds. And now we need to add a recorder. So what we want to do is we're going to make a movie. We're going to do the game view so it records, you know, what we actually see, all the camera changes. We're going to change it to 4K. We're going to go down here and change this to ProRes and then 422 because we don't need anything to be clear. If you want to add anything to the name to help you find it, you put it here. But for the most part, it's basically ready to go. So what I'm going to do is move the recorder down here so we can actually see it recording. And then we hit record. Now this will take a second because it has to go through every single frame. That little shake you saw in the beginning is because of an effect that was turned on that has a camera shake on it. Now my computer is pretty fast, as you can see. It's going through quite a few frames in a short amount of time. It should be done in about a minute. in a future one of these, I'll go into something that's more reverse, because we will be working on a project that a gaming project. So basically, you'll be able to see what more of an in-game type cutscene will be like. And also you can ask me any questions about the assets that we use, because we actually use more than a few of them together to get the effect that we want. So that we can pull this off pretty quickly. As you can see, this stream is not very long, and we basically finished an entire cartoon. Now it was set up already by Deanne, of course, but even if you start from scratch, it would take you less than a day to create, a cartoon or a cutscene at this using this type of format. It does get a little more difficult sometimes. I mean, really more, not really difficult, but more about taking time. When you add moving objects, you have them walking around, or you have more characters. But for the most part, this is so much faster than using the traditional animation systems, and that's why I prefer it. Also, like I said, since I'm making games, it kind of keeps me, so it keeps me into one software for everything, except for, of course, like for Photoshop for editing photos. Almost done. This might take a little bit longer if you have an older video card or something like that. I'm using I'm using a Ryzen 9. No, I'm using a Ryzen's 5 plus an RTX 3060 Ti. All right, so now it's done. So if you go to the bottom here, you'll see this little button. This button will take you to where the video is. Now this video is in uncompressed format, so it'll be really hard to see. So what I do is, so that I can watch it to make sure that it's correct, even though that is the format I'm going to upload to YouTube, is I'm going to go ahead and convert it anyway, so that I can actually rewatch it and make sure that everything is working, and then I can go ahead and upload it to YouTube or use it in your game or however. And I'll show you when we do the game stuff how to make a playable work. All right, let's go ahead and delete these. This is old. All right. All right. Now let's one thing I constantly make mistakes with is I sometimes forget to shut off the demo audio, and it'll sound like it has an echo, so that's one of the things I'm checking for as well. So now I'm rendering it again, but this time I'm rendering it as an MP4 so I can play it on anything. Okay. So this is basically just my copy, so I can check to see if it's okay.
Hi there, Busy. Are you ready for today's letter of the day? You bet I am, Pup. Today's letter is P, and we're going to learn all about penguins. Penguins? I love penguins. They're so fluffy. Well, actually, penguins are birds, and they're not fluffy, but they do have feathers to keep them warm in the cold water. Oh, I didn't know that. What else can you tell me about penguins? Well, Penguins live in cold places like Antarctica and the Arctic. They have special oils on their feathers that make them waterproof, so they can swim in the water and catch fish to eat. They have short, stubby wings that they use to swim, and they have webbed feet to help them move quickly in the water. Wow, that's amazing! Do you know what else starts with P? What, Busy? What else starts with P? Pup! Pup starts with P. P-U-P. Pup. That's right, Busy. P is for penguin and pup. P is the letter of the day.
All right, so the first video is done. And this is the end of this stream. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, or you can watch our next stream. We're going to be doing another one tomorrow. We'll probably be doing one every day. I do these every day. And other than that, it was kind of an awkward first experience. I'm not really a streamer, so I appreciate you for chilling out with me. And take care.